The untold story of Vijay Mallya, from billionaire king to fugitive. A man who owned planes, a man who owned yachts, a man who owned a cricket team, a man who lived like a king. And then one day, he ran away from his own country. He left behind debts of 9,000 crore rupees. This is the story of Vijay Mallya. You think you know his story? Think again. Most videos show you the parties. Most videos show you the money. Most videos show you the fame. But today, you will hear the complete truth. The failures, the tears, the wrong choices, the debts. Because that is where the real lessons are. You will discover 3 things that other videos never tell you. First, the one decision at age 23 that started everything. Second, the secret deals that destroyed his empire. And third, the moment when everything fell apart and he had to leave India. By the end of this video, you will not just know his story. You will learn what happens when dreams become too big. You will learn what happens when you chase fame more than you chase purpose. You will learn powerful lessons about money, about pride, and about the price of living beyond your means. We make these videos after deep research. We spend hours finding rare facts and untold stories. We explain everything in simple English so you learn real lessons and improve your language skills. And if you don't want to miss more amazing videos like this, then do subscribe. Let me take you on a journey, from a small boy in Kolkata to the king of good times, and then to a man who lost it all. Section 1. The Golden Childhood and Early Power. Vijay Mallya was born on December 18, 1955 in Kolkata, India. But his story does not start like most success stories. He was not poor, he was not struggling, he was born with a golden spoon. His father was Vijay Mallya. Vijay was the chairman of United Breweries. This was already a big company. They made beer, they made alcohol, they had money, lots of money. Little Vijay grew up in big houses. He went to expensive schools. He had everything a child could want. But here is what most people do not know. His father was very strict, very demanding, very hard to please. Vijay Mallya wanted his son to be perfect. He wanted him to work hard. He wanted him to prove himself. Young Vijay felt this pressure every single day. Can you imagine having everything but still feeling you are not good enough? Vijay studied at La Martiniere, Calcutta. This was one of the best schools in India. Then he went to St. Xavier's College in Kolkata. He was a good student, not the best, but good enough. But Vijay had something else. He had charm. He had style. He knew how to talk to people. He knew how to make friends. He knew how to get attention. Even as a young man, he loved parties. He loved fast cars. He loved the good life. In 1973, something happened. Vijay was only 18 years old. His father sent him to America. Why? To learn business, to study management, to become ready for the family company. Vijay did not go to just any college. He went to Hobart and William Smith colleges in New York. This was far from home. This was far from his father's eyes. And for the first time, Vijay tasted real freedom. In America, he lived like a king. He had money from his father. He bought expensive clothes. He drove nice cars. He went to parties every week. His friends called him the Indian Playboy. He loved that name. But here is what nobody saw. While he was enjoying life, he was also learning. He was learning about business. He was learning about deals. He was learning about branding. He was learning about image. These lessons would shape his entire life. What this teaches us? Sometimes our biggest strength becomes our biggest weakness. Vijay learned how to create an image. He learned how to be famous, but he never learned when to stop. He never learned the difference between confidence and overconfidence. In your life, remember this. It is good to dream big. It is good to live well. but never let your lifestyle become more important than your work. In 1977, Vijay returned to India. He was 22 years old. His father wanted him to join the family business, but Vijay wanted something more. He wanted power. He wanted control. He wanted to be the boss. His father made him start from the bottom. Vijay had to learn every part of the business. He worked in the factory. He met with dealers. He studied the market. He was learning, but he was also impatient. Then came 1983. Vijay was 28 years old. His father, Vijay Mallya, died suddenly. This changed everything. Overnight, young Vijay became the chairman of United Breweries Group. He was now the boss of a company worth hundreds of crores of rupees. Most people thought he would fail. They said he was too young. They said he was too interested in parties. They said he only cared about having fun. They were wrong, and they were also right. Section 2. The Rise of the King of Good Times. Let me tell you what happened next. This is where Vijay Mallya shocked everyone. He took control of United Breweries, and he had a vision. He did not just want to sell beer. He wanted to sell a lifestyle. He wanted to sell dreams. He wanted to sell the idea of the good life. His company made Kingfisher beer, but Kingfisher was just another beer brand, nothing special. Vijay changed that. He made Kingfisher cool. He made it young. He made it fun. How did he do this? Through brilliant marketing. He put Kingfisher everywhere, in cricket matches, in music concerts, in fashion shows. Anywhere young people were, Kingfisher was there. He created the Kingfisher calendar. Every year, models in beautiful locations. This calendar became famous across India. People waited for it. People talked about it. And every time they saw it, they remembered Kingfisher. The business grew and grew and grew. By the early 2000s, Kingfisher was the #1 beer in India. Vijay Mallya was becoming rich, very rich. But Vijay wanted more, much more. In 2005, he did something nobody expected. He started an airline. He called it Kingfisher Airlines. People said he was crazy. Why would a beer company owner start an airline? India already had many airlines. The aviation business was very difficult. It needed lots of money. But Vijay did not listen. He had a dream. He wanted Kingfisher Airlines to be different. He wanted it to be luxury. He wanted it to be glamorous. He wanted flying to feel like a party. And he did it. Kingfisher Airlines was beautiful. The planes were red and white. The seats were comfortable. The air hostesses wore designer clothes. The food was good. The service was excellent. People loved it. Vijay himself became the face of the airline. He was everywhere, in advertisements, in newspapers, on television. He smiled, he waved, he acted like a movie star. People started calling him the King of Good Times. He bought a cricket team, Royal Bangalore in the IPL. He sat in the stadium with Bollywood actresses. He danced when his team won. He was on TV every week. He bought expensive things. He bought a yacht worth 300 crore rupees. He bought vintage cars. He bought horses for racing. He threw parties in his mansion. Celebrities came, models came, business people came. Everyone wanted to be near Vijay Mallya. But here is what nobody saw. Behind the smile, behind the parties, behind the glamour, something was going wrong. Very wrong. What this teaches us? Success can be dangerous. When everything is going well, we forget to be careful. We forget to check the numbers. We forget to plan. Vijay created a beautiful image, but he forgot that image is not reality. In your life, remember this. It is good to celebrate success, but never stop doing the hard work that brought you that success. Their story is just beginning. And if you want to hear more amazing stories like this while improving your English, hit that subscribe button now.
Section 3. The Fall Begins. Debts, Lies and Escape.
Let me tell you about the year 2008. This is when the cracks started to show. Kingfisher Airlines was losing money every single month. Why? Because running an airline is very expensive. You need to buy planes, you need to pay for fuel, you need to pay salaries, you need to maintain everything. And flights in India were cheap, very cheap. Airlines could not charge high prices. Vijay had a problem. His airline looked beautiful, but it was bleeding money. Every day, crores of rupees were going out and very little was coming in. But Vijay did not stop. He did not slow down. Instead, he did something shocking. In 2007, he bought another airline, Air Deccan. This airline was also losing money. Why did he buy it? Because he wanted to be the biggest. He wanted to be number one. Now he had two airlines to run. Two airlines losing money. The debts started to grow. First, hundreds of crores. Then thousands of crores. Vijay went to banks. He needed money to keep the airlines running. And the banks gave him money. Why? Because he was Vijay Mallya. He was famous. He was the king of good times. Banks trusted him, or maybe they were afraid to say no. He took loans from 17 banks. State Bank of India, IDBI Bank, Punjab National Bank, Bank of Baroda and many more. The total? More than 9,000 crore rupees. But here is what most videos do not tell you. Vijay knew the airlines were failing. He knew he could not pay back the money. But he kept borrowing. He kept taking loans. He kept making promises. And where was all this money going? Some went to the airlines, yes, but some went to his lifestyle, to his parties, to his yacht, to his cars, to his mansion. He was living like a king while his companies were dying. The airline staff stopped getting salaries. Pilots came to work but did not get paid. Engineers worked but got no money. Air hostesses served passengers but went home with empty pockets. Can you imagine? Working every day and not getting your salary? In 2012, Kingfisher Airlines stopped flying. The government took away their license. Why? Because they had no money. They could not pay for fuel. They could not pay airport fees. They could not pay their staff. It was over. But the debt remained. 9,000 crore rupees. The banks wanted their money back. Vijay had to pay. But he had no money. His beer business was still running, but it was not enough to pay such huge debts. The banks went to court. The court told Vijay to pay. He kept delaying. He kept making excuses. He kept promising to pay later. Days became months. Months became years. Then in 2016, something happened. The banks were losing patience. The government was asking questions. The courts were getting strict. Everyone wanted answers. Where did the money go? Why could he not pay? Vijay Mallya sensed danger. Big danger. On March 2, 2016, he did something that shocked the entire nation. He left India. He took a flight to London. He left quietly. No big announcement, no press conference. He just left. Later, people found out the truth. He had planned this. He had moved his money out of India slowly. He had prepared for this escape, and when the time came, he ran. India was angry. The banks were angry. The employees who lost their salaries were angry. The government was embarrassed. How could a man who owed 9,000 crores just leave the country? What this teaches us: pride comes before a fall. Vijay thought he was too big to fail. He thought banks would always help him. He thought he could keep borrowing forever. But debt is like a snake. At first, it is small. You think you can control it, but it grows and grows, and one day it is too big. It kills you. In your life, be very careful with borrowed money. Use it wisely. Pay it back quickly. Never borrow to maintain a lifestyle. Borrow only to build something real. Think about this. A man who had everything. A man who was called the king of good times. Now he was a fugitive. He was hiding in another country. Is this success? Is this victory? Section 4. Life in Exile, The Fallen King. Now let me tell you about Vijay Mallya's life in London. This part of the story is painful and important. When Vijay reached London, he thought he was safe. Britain has different laws. India could not just drag him back. He could fight the case from there. He could live his life. He still had some money hidden away. He bought a big mansion in London. He still drove expensive cars. He still went to parties. He posted pictures on social media. Him at restaurants, him at events, him smiling, acting like nothing was wrong. Back in India, people were furious. They saw his pictures. They saw him enjoying life. While airline staff had no salaries, while banks had lost thousands of crores, while taxpayers were suffering, how could he smile? The Indian government took action. They declared him a fugitive economic offender. This was the first time India used this law. What does it mean? It means the government can take all his property, all his assets, everything he owns in India. They took his mansion in Goa. They took his Kingfisher house in Mumbai. They took his cars. They took his private jet. They took his racehorses. They took everything. The total value? About 13,000 crore rupees. But that was still not enough to pay the 9,000 crore debt, plus interest, plus penalties. The total debt was now more than 10,000 crore rupees. Meanwhile, India asked Britain to send Vijay back. This is called extradition. Britain said, okay, but first there must be a legal process. There must be courts. There must be hearings. Vijay fought hard. He hired expensive lawyers. He went to British courts. He said he would not get a fair trial in India. He said Indian jails were bad. He said his life would be in danger. The case went on for years. 2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. Hearing after hearing, appeal after appeal, Vijay kept fighting. But slowly he was losing. Court after court said the same thing. He must go back to India. He must face the charges. He must answer for what he did. In 2022, the British courts made the final decision. Vijay Mallya must be extradited to India. He had lost. But even then, he filed more appeals. He kept trying to delay. Here is something interesting. In all these years, Vijay never said sorry. He never admitted he did wrong. He kept saying he was a businessman. Business has risks. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. He kept saying he wanted to pay back, but he could not. But people asked questions. If you wanted to pay back, why did you run away? If you were innocent, why did you not stay and fight in India? If business was the problem, why were you still living in luxury? His children were also affected. His son Siddharth, his daughter Liana. They were young when all this happened. They had to live with the shame. Their father was called a thief, a fraud, a man who stole from his country. In 2023, Vijay Mallya was still in London, still fighting, still trying to avoid going back to India. But his life was not the same. The parties were smaller, the fame was gone, people stopped calling him the king of good times. Now they called him the fugitive king. What this teaches us? You can run from the law, but you cannot run from yourself. Vijay ran to London, but he could not run from his guilt. He could not run from his shame. He could not run from the truth. Every morning, he wakes up and knows what he did. Every night, he sleeps knowing thousands of people suffered because of his choices. Money can buy many things, but it cannot buy peace of mind. In your life, remember this. Always do business honestly. If you fail, fail with honor. If you cannot pay your debts, face the people you owe. Running away is not strength. It is weakness. If the story is touching your heart, show your support by hitting the like button. It helps us bring more stories like this to you.
Section 5. The Lessons and the Legacy. Let me now tell you what we can learn from Vijay Mallya's story. Because this is not just about one man. This is about life, about choices, about consequences. Lesson 1. Image is not reality. Vijay built a beautiful image. Kingfisher looked successful. The airlines looked glamorous. He looked like a king. But behind the image, there was chaos. There were debts. There were failures. There were lies. Many people today make the same mistake. They post perfect pictures on social media. They show expensive things. They act successful. But inside, they are struggling. They are in debt. They are unhappy. Try this. Stop comparing your life to other people's images. Focus on building something real, something strong, something honest. Do not chase fame. Chase purpose. Lesson 2. Debt is dangerous. Vijay borrowed 9,000 crores. He thought he could pay it back later. He thought his business would grow. He was wrong. Debt grew faster than his business and it destroyed him. So many people today are trapped in debt. Credit cards, personal loans, home loans, car loans. They keep borrowing to maintain a lifestyle. One day they cannot pay and everything falls apart. Try this. Before you borrow money, ask yourself 3 questions. Do I really need this? Can I pay this back? What happens if things go wrong? If you do not have clear answers, do not borrow. Pride destroys. Vijay was too proud to admit failure. He was too proud to say sorry. He was too proud to ask for help. This pride cost him everything: his business, his reputation, his freedom, his peace. Pride is dangerous. When we are proud, we think we know everything, we think we do not need advice, we think we are special, and then life teaches us a hard lesson. Try this. Practice humility every day. Ask for advice. Admit your mistakes. Say sorry when you're wrong. Learn from others. Remember, the tallest trees fall hardest in the storm, but grass bends and survives. Lesson 4. Success without character is empty. Vijay had money, he had fame, he had power. But did he have character? Did he care about the people who worked for him? Did he care about the pilots who did not get salaries? Did he care about the banks that trusted him? Did he care about his country? True success is not about how much you have. It is about who you are. It is about how you treat people. It is about what you leave behind. Try this. Every day, do something for someone who cannot pay you back. Help someone. Teach someone. Be kind to someone. Build character, not just wealth. Lesson 5. You cannot escape yourself. Vijay ran to London, but he could not escape his own mind. Every day he knows what he did. Every day he remembers the people he hurt. Every day he lives with the weight of his choices. We all make mistakes, that is okay. But we must own our mistakes. We must face them. We must try to fix them. Running away solves nothing. It only makes the pain last longer. Try this. If you have made a mistake, face it today. Apologize if you need to. Fix what you can. Learn the lesson. Then move forward. Do not carry the weight of unfinished business. The legacy of Vijay Mallya. What will people remember about Vijay Mallya 50 years from now? Will they remember the parties? Will they remember the good times? No. They will remember a man who had everything and lost it all. They will remember a cautionary tale. They will remember a lesson about greed, about pride, about living beyond your means. His story is taught in business schools today, not as a success story, but as a warning. What not to do, how not to live, how not to do business. His employees remember him, but not with love. They remember waiting for salaries. They remember losing their jobs. They remember broken promises. His banks remember him. They lost thousands of crores. That is taxpayer money. That is your money. That is money that could have built schools, hospitals, roads. But it was wasted. His own family remembers him differently now. His children had to grow up seeing their father called a criminal. His name became a symbol of shame. What this teaches us? Legacy matters. How will people remember you 50 years from now? Will they remember the parties? Will they remember the good times? No. They will remember a man who had everything and lost it all. They will remember a cautionary tale. They will remember a lesson about greed, about pride, about living beyond your means. His story is taught in business schools today, not as a success story, but as a warning. What not to do, how not to live, how not to do business. His employees remember him, but not with love. They remember waiting for salaries, they remember losing their jobs, they remember broken promises. His banks remember him, they lost thousands of crores. That is taxpayer money, that is your money. That is money that could have built schools, hospitals, roads, but it was wasted. His own family remembers him differently now. His children had to grow up seeing their father called a criminal. His name became a symbol of shame. What this teaches us, legacy matters. How will people remember you? What will they say at your funeral? That you were rich, or that you were good? That you were famous, or that you were kind? That you took, or that you gave? Start building your legacy today, not with money, but with character, with kindness, with honesty, with service. Remember at the start I told you about a man who had planes, yachts, and a cricket team? A man who lived like a king? Now you know the complete story behind it. Vijay Mallya's story is not just about business. It is about human nature. It is about dreams that became too big. It is about ego that became too strong. It is about living for today and forgetting about tomorrow. But here's the most powerful part. His story is not over. He is still alive. He is still in London. He still has a chance to come back, a chance to face his mistakes, a chance to pay back what he owes, a chance to say sorry, a chance to find redemption. Will he take that chance? We don't know, but we hope he does. Because everyone deserves a second chance. Everyone can change. Everyone can choose a different path. Now I want to ask you, what lesson from Vijay Mallya's life will you apply today? Will you choose character over image? Will you choose humility over pride? Will you choose honesty over shortcuts? Will you build something real instead of just looking successful? Tell me in the comments below. I read every single comment. And remember this, you have something Vijay Mallya lost. You have a clean slate. You have a chance to build your life the right way. You have the power to make different choices. Use that power wisely. From the king of good times to a fugitive in exile. This is what happens when we forget what really matters. But it doesn't have to be your story. Your story can be different. Your story can be better. Make today count. Build character. Live honestly. Dream big, but stay grounded. And never ever let your lifestyle become bigger than your purpose. If this inspired you, share it with someone who needs to hear this story. Subscribe for more true stories that change lives and improve English. And remember, the best time to start living right is today. Thank you for watching this video.